Hey guys, Dan with True North Motos. I just wanted to do kind of a bike build overview. This is my personal bike, so this is a 2025 Sherco 500 factory edition. All new chassis from these. Probably one of the best handling bikes out of the box and some of the best suspension settings as far as valving goes out of the box. Now you do get the bigger KYB shock with the Sherco and you get KYB front forks. Normally I revalve my suspension. I think this is the first bike in probably 10 or 15 bikes that I haven't revalved the suspension. I just threw springs in for my weight. The motor on this new bike is really impressive. Don't notice a ton of like flame outs or pop stalls and super tight stuff. And if you do, you can just use a selectable map switch here and go over to the basically the slower map or your traction map, which is going to be facing this way. This is going to be your full power map. And that really gets rid of any issues and super tight stuff for pop outs or flame stalls. Things I have done to this bike. So we've done our dual sport kit, got the Euro switch on here, replaces the kill switch. This bike has a light switch and a hidden kill switch. So it'll cut ignition, and on the other side is the same switch, is your on off switch for the lights, because normally you got that up here as well as your kill switch. In the dual sport kit, on the front harness, which we call our headlight adapter harness, it has accessory power. So I've wired in our dual USB charger right there, and that way I can put my phone on this. I have a phone mount that I put between bikes, and when I'm using it as a dual sport, I can have all my maps and everything I want up on that. In the front, we have the fork wrap signals. Those have a daytime running light and a sequential amber turn signal. Removable mount, so when you're servicing your suspension, it's easy on and off. Also, big thing that I like, the Canyon Dancer tie down loops. That's a good one right there. In the back, you got the all-in-one tail light. Fits nicely on these bikes. Running light, brake light, turn signals, license plate light, everything you need back there. On the dual sport kit, there's an option to add a rear brake pressure switch. It's right here. You don't have to use it because these bikes already have a front brake pressure switch from the factory. But if you want both brakes to work on your brake light, you can add that rear brake pressure switch in there. Other things I've done to this bike. So Seat Concept seat foam and cover. They don't sell a complete seat yet. They probably will once we can get the seat pans in for these bikes a little bit easier. But super nice if you're doing long days. We got a Mako 360. I'm running green polymers. Lance makes killer stuff. This cuts any vibration out. Really gives your bars a lot of movement and flex. You don't notice it while you're riding, but it just absorbs those vibrations and hard hits that you take. Really big fan of these. On to the handlebars. So I mount the SXS flags directly to the stock Sherco perches. These plastic covers that go over the perches there. And then you run your zip tie all the way around your bar. So if you take a hit, it's pulling on the bar and not on the perch. Okay? Now, you want these perches to move if you crash, right? So you don't break one. These work connection rotating bar clamps are awesome for that. You can see the plastic in there. It'll allow the bar to move, or the master to move up and down. And then I put a little paint mark on it so I can tap it back to where I like it. And I know I'm always at the right setting if I get in a crash or something like that. We've updated the headlight on this. This is the Motoes Headlight. This is all that they really had right now. We're working with Cyclops Adventure Sports, and he's hopefully going to be putting an Explorer light, which is one of my favorites in these. And we'll be mounting that up once those come into stock from Cyclops. Bulletproof designs, radiator guards. The tabs on the outside of these radiators are pretty thin, so I really like these guards because they really just brace everything up really nice. Bulletproof design makes killer stuff. You can see we used a through bolt and a nylock nut on the backside to mount the horn here. We have Motos 5 down, 5 back foot pegs. These say they fit the 25. When I first put them on, they were pretty far up at an angle, so I did file them down a little bit to get them a little bit flatter. Just a heads up. But really like the 5 down, 5 back on the pegs. It helps me. I'm 6'2", so if you're feeling a little cramped in the riding triangle, it's a good option. Not a big fan of bar risers. I run the low perch on the bottom on these. So you get a full Akrapovic titanium exhaust on these bikes. I pulled the DB killer out on mine. I ordered the screen, so it's full flow, but still has your spark arrestor. I don't have it in right now. We just did a mud race on this bike, and I took it out, just forgot to put my screen back in. So we got a M5B on the back of this thing right now with Michelin Mousse. Front is my favorite front tire, which is a Battlecross X31, also Michelin Mousse. You got no more reusable tire weight, so these wheels are balanced because I do use this as a dual sport bike as well. One cool thing, we just ordered them. Sherco came out with a new 13-liter tank, so that should be coming soon. We'll put one of those on this bike. What else do we got on here? Trying to think of anything else. Oh, on this side over here, this is a cool product from Enduro Engineering. So this is your fuel line hookup and electrical connector. This is a guard that bolts on. Now when you take the tank off, you do have to take these two bolts off to get your electrical connector free, but kind of just keeps that nice and solid and protected right there. Also, bulletproof designs, Swingarm tab guard. I put those on every bike. It does not matter what brand or any of that stuff. I did change gearing from a 50 to a 48 in the back. This bike makes a ton of power, and I just wanted a little bit more cruising speed. So now I can cruise comfortably at about 60, 65 on this thing. Very, very impressed with the new Sherco chassis. I got about 25 hours on this thing now, and it's just been really, really nice and reliable and fun bike to ride. Just want to give you an update and how I built mine out. Thanks for checking that out, guys.